club initially started back in '04. A lot of guys still live in Lubbock that were part of the original team, and then it just kind of kept growing and growing, and then we're here today. We have about 35 members right now. We go to Buffalo Springs. It's about 15 minutes away. If you go to 50th Street and just head east, you run right into it. And so it's really accessible, especially during the weekdays whenever we have practice and it's warmer. People can come and go as they please. So the boat usually goes out 4 times a week if nothing's wrong with it or anything. We go out 4 times a week, and we usually go about 2 o'clock all the way till dark. So some people show up early, get their set in or a couple sets, and then they go home, and then people all just kind of rotate like that. So it's really cool, and especially with the younger guys that we have, not everybody has cars. So it gives them the opportunity to make sure that they're going to class and being students first, but then on their free time coming out, catching a ride with somebody who's coming out later. We try and go to 2 tournaments a semester, so 4 tournaments a full school year. And we already went to one, and that was in Waco, and it was a boat competition and a cable competition. The boat competition is pretty much any skill level you want. They have beginner, intermediate, advanced, and open. And so with that being said, is we can take as many people as we want to any of the tournaments except for nationals. But with the boat competition, you do as many tricks off the wake as you can in a down pass and a pass back. And then with the cable competition, you're hitting things like rails and jumps, and you can do, they're called air tricks, where you load the line and you make yourself come up off the water and do tricks and then land and keep going. I like to go to competitions and hang out with our whole team because that's really the only times that everybody is together for a long period of time. And then especially because I have friends at Texas and Texas State, which are some of the top leading schools in our collegiate sport, and they're also fun to watch and just fun to hang out with. So really it's the whole tournament aspect of what my favorite part would be.
Competing, you get to go out to a whole new place you wouldn't really go. I've never been out to the BSR cable park, which was where the one in Waco was, and just seeing a lot of new people. I had no idea Texas State was so big. We kind of had a tent next to them and met up with them. I met a lot of those guys. So I like meeting everybody, just going out, seeing new places. It was a new experience. I competed in INT, which is a novice kind of tournament that they had for a lot of kids that aren't on the pro tour that like to go out and compete. And it's a lot of the same group of guys that come out and do this, but it's been a while, and I had a really great time doing it.
I grew up near the water, so it was kind of ideal, to kind of get into water sports if possible. My dad had gotten a ski boat a while back, so he was like, hey, y'all should try. We just inner tubed and like kneeboarded and stuff, but then I finally tried wakeboarding, and it was really fun. I actually got it on my first try, but then trying to improve was really hard because I didn't really have any help along the way. It was like self-taught, so it was kind of tough.
Well, I originally grew up water skiing, and so we live on the lake in Austin, and so my dad's been a big skier all of his life, and I originally started water skiing whenever I was 4 years old, and then water skied barefoot, and then got into wakeboarding about whenever I was 13, and been doing it ever since. I guess my favorite memory would be, this is gonna kind of sound bad, but whenever somebody takes a really bad fall, it's always funny to go back, because we usually film on the boat for our upcoming video or whatever, and it's always fun to see somebody fall really hard but then get back up and land their trick or accomplish something that they've never accomplished, it feels really good to see somebody do that.
I still remember the first time I ever landed a flip. I remember that like the entire day. I remember everything. It took me a whole summer to end up landing it. It hurt along the way a lot too, but then I finally landed it, and I stood there just like in shock, just like, oh my gosh, like finally after all this work, I was finally able to accomplish what I've been. And that's one of the big parts of wakeboarding. It's striving for everything, and it takes a little while, but when you do achieve the goals you've set, it's huge personal satisfaction. I had a concussion about 3 years ago on a rail. I was terrified. I was underwater. I had no idea where I was. And then, I came up, and then I got on the boat and kind of started coming to. But when you're in the water after you have a concussion, it's terrifying because you have no idea where you are, how to get air. And it's just, but I mean, you get right back up on it.
Well, I've been kind of like joking around, like landing a flip. Actually threw a flip whenever we were in Waco a couple weeks ago. Never done it before. It was crazy, but I really hope to seriously be able to land it in the future.
I just want to keep competing. I don't know how far we can go into it. But yeah, I'd like to see a few more tournaments because I mean, those are what you kind of ride for.